All right, we're caught up on the main story, and shit gets pretty like ridiculously hype immediately after that last trial. As far as like classic Final Fantasy stuff goes, I mean, we've got primals are back. We're riding on Bismarck, riding on a giant flying whale. You're discovering an ancient summoned dream city. That's pretty Final Fantasy. And the bad guy is like you, Yevon, summoning the city, and also like Garland from FF9, like trying to sacrifice everyone in one world to bring back his buddies from the old world. Emmett Selk kind of seems like a cool dude. I don't know. I mean, yeah, he's trying to commit genocide, but he's like, my old buddies are like basically God shadow people. They can make whatever they want, and they sacrificed half of them to save the other half. Would you guys do that? And everyone in the party just looks at each other like, yeah, no, our people suck. We wouldn't do that. So it sounds like, hey, Pax, you're an Emmett Selk stand.
I wanna live in his cool dream city with him, and his cool the guy you talk with in the DMV, as Matt said, his buddy that wasn't even there and was like the best character.
That's like the most Final Fantasy thing I've ever experienced. You're getting like these mind-shattering lore bombs dropped on you while you're sitting waiting at the DMV, basically. It's even better when your legs are just dangling on the really tall chair, and he's like 18 feet tall. So
I could have sat there listening to him for a little while.
I've never been more excited about the Ascians. Like I've been skipping most of the Aetheryte quests, just like skipping the cutscenes and rushing through them. But I paid attention to all of those goddamn DMV quests. Like, they got me.
Right?
I'm hooked.
That's good shit. I don't want him to lose. I want him to lose, but I don't want him to lose.
You really get the sense from him too that it's like obviously he tells you earlier he's not gonna lie to you, right? And he hasn't, right? But you get the sense that like he has ulterior motives, but he's kind of happy no matter what happens, right? Like he's playing for like all contingencies, and so like when he's all like upset that you're not exactly how he hoped, you know, when you're getting your white paint vomit going on, it's like, well, he has a plan for that, right? He's got plans, man.
Got plans.
He's as cool a villain as they come. I didn't even think about, like, we were talking about the second act culmination, lowest point thing, that the whole thing with the protagonist becoming a Sin Eater is so well telegraphed throughout the entire first and second act. Like, the fact that you've just resolved the threat at the end of the second act of dealing with Valkyrie, and then Emmett shows up, and it's not a surprise, but it just works. It's great. I don't know, I can see why everybody loves this expansion so much, because that was all just perfectly set up, established, and paid off.
Also, apparently, we were good buddies with him back in the day. How about that lore bomb? That somehow us and Shadow Warrior guy were like one person, maybe back then, or
yeah, I think the implication is that before the worlds were sundered, that like there was one Warrior of Light being entity, and then we got split into 14 different versions, and Ardbert's one of them. That was one of the things that the DMV buddy dropped on us, right?
Yeah, and he kind of implies that you were the one that was like, no, I'm not cool with this whole let's sacrifice everyone else to bring back our buddies, our Ascian, whatever they're called. Are they all Ascians back then?
I thought the Shadowbringers were Ascians, but I don't know.
Whatever you want to call them, isn't like his whole plan was like, okay, well, let's sacrifice everyone else now to bring back the people who sacrificed themselves to get, you know, Zodiark up.
That's completely reasonable. Yeah, that's fine.
No, whether or not you agreed, but I think they're saying it was implied, and maybe I'm wrong, but that like your character back when you're, you know, were shattered into 14 versions of yourself, I guess, was the one to be like, I don't know about that. Let's take a minute. Let's think this over.
I think even if he's in the wrong, I can completely, and even if we should beat him in whatever, mortal life needs to live on, blah, blah, blah. Like, I can buy why he wants to do it. So he's got this really cool monologue right before this dungeon where he's talking about, like, I've lived thousands of lifetimes, I've, you know, married people, I've had kids, I've died. You know, my life is so much more valuable than yours. It's sort of
he founded the damn empire.
Yeah. All of my friends were rad shadow gods like me. What can you do? You can, like, be a carpenter or something? I don't care.
Good fish. Yeah.
Right, I'll go ahead and cue us in, but...
Go.
It would be like asking someone, would you sacrifice all of the animals in the world to save all the humans? I feel like that's a challenging question. Some people would say no, some people would say absolutely yes.
Marvel did it first.
Yeah.
This dungeon is super cool, and it doesn't come up enough in Expert Roulette. That's all I'm going to say for now. So I'm super happy we're playing it.
Nice. I like the theme when you get to, is it Amaurot?
Welcome to the final days of
Yeah, it's basically the same theme that's played through all the Tempest, but then it gets a little bit more, it's the same tones.
It's got like this ticking clock in the background the whole time, which I think is really cool. It's intentional. Whoa. Whoa.
the fabric.
Oh, those poor Roby guys.
I love the Ruby guys. They're my favorite.
I want that transmog.
I mentioned this in the Discord, but so one of the Aetheryte quests is you need to make your own robes. And they're like, yeah, we're gods, so we basically think about something and we have enough ether that we can just make it be. So you go through this whole quest to do that, and they're like, your ether sucks. You should probably go, kill this monster. And anyway, the whole quest ends saying, you can't do it. I'll give you this lightning cluster, and that's like a little crafting reference because weavers use lightning clusters to weave stuff. So it's like you're gonna have to make your robes the old-fashioned way. You can't just will them into being like the Shadow Bros. Anyway.
That was completely lost on me, so thank you for explaining it.
Yeah. No. It's like, why am I getting a random lightning cluster from this quest reward? Well, they've got so many bomb textures. I don't think that guy has a... Well, I guess he's... Oh, he tethers to somebody independent of the aggro table. Okay. Maybe he should die first, question mark. Oh, and he stacks fire resist down on someone. Ouch, okay.
It's fine. There's no fire here. This is fine.
Everything's fine.
Fire at all.
By the way, me and Pat are wearing the correct transmogs.
Yes, best transmog.
Oh, did you get your dwarf transmog?
Yeah, my heals
Nice.
are 200% stronger now.
And you've got the Vivi hat. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I know what you were saying about always wanting to wear whatever gear, like what it actually looks like, but I don't know if I could ever take that off if I were you.
I'll see what the 80 stuff looks. The 430 gear, the blue gear for Scholar was the standard nerd Scholar. I don't really like that.
Sure. I think... Isn't that helmet special in that different NPCs will respond to you differently if you're wearing it? Or if you're not wearing it, I think?
I think the healer quest giver will respond differently to you if you're not wearing your helmet. So I will find out. I have not started any of the healer quests yet.
Healing magic down.
Uh-oh.
What would you need that for?
Did you notice that the dude that gives you your armor set is the legendary weapon guy? He's like this world's version of the legendary weapon guy from the source.
I thought he was familiar. Yeah.
There's like a line where it says you look familiar.
Yeah.
Crafters get something like that with the script quest in Yulmore. There's a chick there named, I think her name is Moena, and in the source it's Rowena. You should turn in these scripts, and you're like, yeah, I've done that before. That's not surprising.
You can also do back in the source your level 80 job quest there to get a cool title and whatnot. Is that what your All Thoughts title is, or is that something different, Pat?
Nah, it's something different. Fuck is that thing?
That's called the First Beast. I wonder if they made it.
You did just say, just as prayer rock gives rise to primers, our dread manifests our deepest fears.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I love that, because they don't need crystals to make primals or the like. They just think about something and they've got enough magic in them that they just make it happen. I feel like that's probably been the lore of the Ascians this whole time, but the game hasn't done a very good job of like getting me to grasp that until meeting the cool shadow dudes. Final Sky, that seems bad. Oh, there's rocks. No. This looks like a behemoth meteor attack. Ow.
Ouch.
Alright, I'll see if I can suicide here. That was hide behind a rock.
Yeah, and we placed where the rocks go with that AoE markers, so we could have done that better. I forgot until it happened, so it's not like
That's okay, it's fun to learn it blind. I'd rather die and... I guess if it's just the four of us, since we do the 8-man, I don't mind a little bit more tips. We don't annoy other people, but...
I know, I'm saying I didn't even remember that the AoEs was what placed them, but once it happened, I was like, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's okay, we got this. We're gonna kill the first beast and we're gonna save all the Ascians.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be fine.
It'll be just fine.
So I followed the dialogue right, like, shit got so bad for these folks that just them being afraid was enough to conjure monsters to attack them immediately.
Yep. That's what I took from it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know, I feel like I've seen a lot of fiction, especially fantasy fiction, and some sci-fi that talks about godlike entities, and they usually don't really have things that are a threat to them.
Yeah.
Like, was Q from Star Trek or his race ever significantly threatened, or do they mostly just threaten others?
They had a civil war in Voyager. Pretty threatening.
That makes sense. Emmett itself kind of reminds me of Q.
Yeah, it's a lot of similarities.
Alright, so this leaves behind little rocks, so we need to hide behind. Okay, now one in the back.
Shoot. Uh-oh.
this guy.
You're running into me! You kept going.
I was asking the same question for you.
I was ahead of you.
Oh. I don't know if this actually does damage when we're behind the rock. You're mean. Give poor Apex a heart attack.
Oh god!
The healers adjust.
Find a rock!
A rock right back here.
Boy, this is the first boss.
Tombstones.
So Matt, these are the tombstones for gear now.
The Dosha is the uncapped tombstone that you can carry 2,000 of. That gives 40 gear. And then there's Phantasmagoria capped tombstone. You can carry. Nah, I think it's still 2,000, but you can only get 450 a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know if this dungeon completion will give you some or not. The two other level 80 dungeons do for sure. I need 50 more for my weekly cap. Oh man.
Oh man.
They just released Phantasmagoria this past week, right?
Yes, sir.
I just got your text, Apex, about Poison Blighttown.
Oh, right.
I definitely I let the girl poison herself. And
Yes.
really slowly.
That's how I beat her.
You're not
First
the
time,
only
for sure.
person to have done that.
I was like, oh, she's taking poison damage. I think I can exploit this.
Now we can play the waiting game.
I think there's some lore behind her taking poison damage. Someone mentioned it at least. I don't remember what it actually was.
Oh, yeah.
Get that tank privilege, getting all those materia 8s over there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, materia drops like nuts down
Yeah.
here.
Mm-hmm. Every dungeon you'll get a couple at least. And then if you're a bit adventure in need, you'll also get like one or two of the things that you pick which 7 you want, and one of the things that you pick an 8. Pretty nice.
Yeah, I know that now's a good time to sell them because all the raiders are trying to overmeld and that's super expensive. That demand won't last forever though. You guys ever messed with overmelding before?
Nope.
Not me.
The land buckled. The cities burned. ran red with blood.
That sucks, Emmett. Sorry that happened.
So really, he's doing all this to us, right? None of this exists.
Yeah, I
This
think
is
this
just
is all an
dream.
illusion.
Yeah.
We're in the Matrix.
Well, not an illusion. He has the power to like create this stuff at will. But
Yeah.
no, overmelding is a thing you need a max level crafter for, and like all the raiding guilds have to do it to have the stats to win, like on launch week. And the way it works is you have a certain number of materia slots, and then for each additional slot above the base number of slots, you only have a chance to successfully meld it. And if you fail, the materia just gets destroyed. So you effectively will need to have like 50 materia to fully, put all the materia into your chess piece, and you just destroy the other 45 of them or so. It might actually be more than that. I think we want to kill the bomb first since it doesn't have an aggro table. Whoops. It looks like they're really trying to keep that materia flowing.
Yeah, wow. 8 is the max right now?
Yeah, 8 is the highest. You can probably pretty cheaply get 8 materia in all of your armor. Overmelding almost certainly isn't worth it, but... if you ever want to try it, I can do it.
Creepy looking motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The second Doom.
Oh.
Shrill Shriek.
New beast.
Raid damage. Oh shit.
Ah.
We've got
Why is everyone
learning about
tethered
these
to me?
bombs the whole fight.
Maybe they're like, let's pick a DPS to tether to, and I'm the only one.
Oh, maybe.
Thanks, Pat.
Got it.
God.
Uh-oh, now they're... Got one of them healer assholes, too.
Oh, do they target the healer? The Dark
With
Elemental?
that, you don't get heals ability.
Oh, sure. How bad is that?
I don't know, it just says it's my magic is reduced.
Hmm.
I think it's worded to be heals on me are reduced in effectiveness, not heals that I do.
Oh, I see. That
It
makes
probably works
sense.
on you.
Mhm. This is kind of a fun fight.
Thought they gave tanks AoEs.
Yeah.
I got to read what he's saying in the chat, man.
Once
He's explaining what happened.
From the story.
Each beast gives birth to new beasts.
Yeah. In case you didn't get the Revelation vibe, it's basically Revelations.
Mhm.
Thank God there's no TP anymore. I
feel like the giant skyscrapers city did a much better job of selling the ancient civilization thing than whatever we've seen of the Allegan Empire so far. Oh, that is a really long cast bar. It's not interruptible.
We just nuke him, I think.
There
He's
you
gonna
go.
bomb us. He's getting big.
Find out if having 2 tanks is enough DPS. Very good.
Yet this
Nice.
Oh yeah, one last.
worst of it.
Okay. He still blew up a little bit.
We're still going faster than trusts. Oh,
Mhm.
I see.
Oh no, I think it's comparable or even fine. I'll have to get my mind's eye thing set up again for interested to see.
See the end of
Well, this is a pretty sweet map. Holy shit. God. Yeah, this is Final Fantasy as fuck. This is great.
Okay.
Okay, there's a big laser guy. It looks where he's gonna shoot lasers. It's quieting gleam. Okay, at least he gives a line AoE where he's gonna target. A lot of people have been saying that like Stormblood really feels like they were just trying to like set this up. They need to get the pieces in the right place.
Yeah.
I don't even fire resistance.
Well, that's cool. I've noticed that there's a couple hunts that are doing palette swaps of the raid bosses from. This guy's a palette swap of the second raid in Deltascape. Final Fantasy V enemy. Or I should say texture swap. They put more work into it than just a palette swap, but it looks cool.
Force of Loathing. It's quite a name. Ability.
the star was fading. We saw we had to weave its laws anew.
How many of these guys have we met other than Emmett Silk, La Habrea, and Elidibus? Are those the only ones?
I think that's it.
There was Egiorm as well.
Their guy, his name started with L. I thought they mentioned him in one of the cutscenes when we were talking to the Shadow dudes.
Yeah, so Logorem was name checked as the original Asian in the first 100 years ago, but we haven't met him. He was just
I
name
see.
checked. And Egiorm was together with La Habrea at the end of Heavensward. Remember they had the double Asian boss fight
Mm-hmm. I remember that now, yeah.
right before Thornton in that last dungeon. I had to recall too.
Yeah, the one that was kind of like the Chrysalis. I'm significantly more invested in the Asians after this
not for Alice.
expansion. I didn't really have any idea who they were throughout all of Realm Reborn, even though they kept showing up.
I have like no recollection of like that boss fight you just said. Like that's a good chunk of my motivation for wanting to suffer through A Realm Reborn again to like catch those things.
And now that I understand who they are.
Yeah.
I imagine it's got to be frustrating for the people that were diving into the lore weeds, like way back in Realm Reborn. Everyone's like, "Oh man, the story's so cool." They're like, "Yeah, no shit, it has been." And it's like, "Yeah, but it's actually presented well, and I can follow it now."
Yeah, presentation's everything.
Destiny has a real problem with that as well. There's a ton of cool lore in Destiny, but you have to pretty much always go outside of the game to get to it.
That's frustrating.
It's frustrating. They've been better about putting like flavor text on guns and armor and stuff, but that still doesn't feel as good.
Right. The flavor text model, I think, is my favorite, the way that Dark Souls does it. But Final Fantasy's never been about obtuse, difficult to perceive lore. It's always kind of in your face, which is what was weird about the original expansions.
I think it's okay when games can strike a nice balance of like, let me make sure I beat you over the head with the main plot points, and then like there can definitely be more that you can dig deep if you want to.
Right, like we were talking about, like the lightning cluster and the random ether current quest, and knowing that the one guy is the alternate version of the legendary weapon guy from the source. Like, they can drop that without you having to think about it too much. But they've also, like, I've noticed that in the MSQ itself, characters will complain when they know that, like, fetch questing is about to happen. It happened in this last section where Thancred was like, you know, alright, that sounds like errands.
It's so great at the end of the physical DPS role quests, you get assigned a bunch of fetch questing, and your role quest buddy's like, I got this. And you get to stand there and wait next to the NPC for him to go get the stuff.
That's nice.
It's great. It's the best.
Can't target him.
Can't lolly home if I can't target him. There we go.
This is like maybe the coolest map in the game. Shadow Wreck, I guess. Oh.
Apocalypsis. Oh, it's like, bet you don't want to be over there.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh god.
It's still bad. What?
Okay. I'm gonna jump.
Whee! I guess I moved too far close to it. I didn't realize I was gonna keep going. But I didn't get in the beam, so I guess don't trust the cart animation.
I was trying to like get inside his hitbox, but not quite on the lava. I don't know if I lived because I'm a tank or because I did that. Definitely cool as far as salty runbacks go.
I need to look up if this name has any significance. Like, I guess all of the different Sin Eaters had like different names associated with different types of love. Like even storage, I forget what it was, but it's a kind of love. So like there was philia and I forget the other ones, but they all have like a meaning behind their name, a theme.
Well, that's cool.
I don't know what Therion is, if that's supposed to mean anything or not.
This thing's not a Sin Eater though, right?
No, but it might still have some significance, kind of like Amaurot had the
Utopia town capital.
Right.
looks like there's also 2 little blocks on either side of him that are real. Just double check to make sure they have collision. Try standing on that. Yeah,
there you go. Good watch. Now we can't get away.
Yeah. Damn, right as I use my 2-minute cooldown. Oh, okay. I guess that explains, like, the lava's there to make sure you don't accidentally go behind him. I wonder if that came up in testing, that people weren't seeing the little blocks on the side. And now it looks like he's about to destroy one of them. Or it's got some bad shit on it, at least. There's more of them behind us. There's little, like, skull faces on the side of the arena for that. Oh shit, yeah. Oops.
Firing the laser beams.
Fire my laser.
Shadow Wreck. Deathly Ray.
Death Ray.
Oh.
Oh god, and he starts again.
Need to figure out where he's conveying where he's going to land those attacks. The Apocalypse get not on the broken one, I think.
No way.
Once again. So hopefully this isn't a DPS check. I guess we'll see. Hoping it just kind of triggers at certain health percentages. Step it up otherwise.
Giving her all I got.
He's got the skull monsters on the sides and be some lasers.
Skulls moved.
Okay.
Amiga. Okay.
There's one broken one of that.
Here comes skulls.
Okay. Whoops, we're dead.
Got him.
Kill it.
Very cool.
Eat.
Eating 2 tanks is fine.
Ah.
Get that elite gunbreaker DPS. Firing.
Freaking all the guns.
What about my super elite, awesome Dragoon DPS?
You made up for all of us.
Do I mean
Yeah.
nothing to you?
It was all you.
It's fine. No, it's, you should scroll up and read the different things he said during the fight that we may have missed in the heat of the battle.
Voice of Fulgent Destruction. Not decisive sacrifice, our star would surely perish.
Nice, that also gave me the 50 Phantasmagoria I needed to cap this week.
Looks like I got 52.
Yeah, I think any of the level 80 dungeons will give 50. If you do the expert roulette, you get a bonus 40.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really not hard to cap it. You just do the expert roulette 5 times over the course of a week, if nothing else.
Splitting the recording.